My name is Daisy,
My name is Joel.
My name's Maria.
And my name's Alvaro.
and we're here with My Future Pathways Television. This is our new series. We're doing like a podcast series, and we're gonna have different topics and themes for each session to uphold variety. For today's session, we're just gonna be talking about mental health aspects, senior do's and don'ts, and what it's like to be a first generation student. Before we get started, I wanted to have everyone talk about themselves a little bit. This way, you guys can get used to our voices a little bit more. Me, I'm the oldest of three kids. I have two little brothers. I have two part-time jobs. I've played soccer since I was little. I'm a senior at Eagle Valley High School, and on my free time, I like to go to the gym.
My name is Joel Alvarez. I'm the oldest of five. I'm also a first generation student. Ever since I was a kid, I've been trying to be the first in my family to get into college. Also, in my free time, I also like to go and work out. And I also very enjoy to watch soccer. I used to play, but not anymore.
My name's Maria. I am the middle child of four. I have two older siblings and a younger brother. I am the track and field manager. I used to wrestle, and I am also a first-gen student.
Wrestle. Wow, that's impressive.
Interesting.
My name's Alvaro. I have two jobs and a little side hustle. I work here on My Future Pathways. I also work at House of Poke, and I also like to independently consult kids on their college dreams. I have done speech and debate. I've done double duels, and I've done a few other like side things at Eagle Valley. And yeah, I'm a first generation student, but all three of my older siblings did go to college, so I guess I had an example to help me out.
Okay, so now that everyone's talked about themselves a little bit, my first question was, what do you guys think are typical stereotypes about first generation students?
I would definitely say a common stereotype is that we can't do it. I mean, in the United States, Hispanics are the largest population of students that drop out. We don't usually go to college either, so we definitely have the odds stacked against us.
I think there's a common misunderstanding with what first generation students are too.
Yeah,
like,
right.
I didn't know, like, if you had siblings, that you could still be a first generation student. Like,
Yeah.
And I did a little research, and it says that only 25% of first generation students have immigrant parents. So there's that stereotype of all first generation students are like have immigrant parents, and that's not true. Like, it's a big a way bigger proportion than that. It's only 25% that have immigrant parents. So it's not only like Hispanics.
Mhm.
And also, can I say, I automatically jumped to saying Hispanic students because that's what I'm used to. I grew up in a large population of Hispanics, so when I think of first generation, I think of Hispanic because I'm obviously also a first generation student, but I also understand that first generation students can come from anywhere.
Mhm.
I've heard before that like we're like tryhards. Like from what I've seen, like in all my classes, is like we've been tryhards because like we put in all our effort, but they don't know that we don't just do it for our parents, we do it for ourselves because like we've made it this far. And like yes, we're also making our parents proud, but it's also like because of us, because we've made it this far and we've put in all this effort.
And I think with that one, like, it's not necessarily like a bad stereotype, because if they see us as tryhards, that means that they see that we're putting like the work in, and
Yeah.
and they see that like we're working for it. So like even if we get called like tryhards, it's like, oh, they're getting the job done.
Mhm.
Like they're
true.
getting there.
Yeah, absolutely. Another stereotype I see about like first generation students is that like first generation students always go to community college or just to the state school. They never really think of first generation students going to like prestigious universities, right? So that's like one stereotype that I always think about is like when you're a first generation student, you're just automatically going to go to like a small college or a college that is like publicly funded.
My next question, I think, is gonna be like, what's your biggest senior don't? Like, don't do this as a senior.
Mm.
Don't put off your college applications. You
Mhm.
need time to like create a beautiful long essay. And if you like make it in one day, it's not going to be good, you know?
I agree
And
with that.
yeah.
I feel like a lot of the seniors this year, that's what they did, and they put too much stress on them. That they like did their essay like when they needed that application in.
Yeah, I would also agree. Like, just don't put off anything because I feel like a common term right now is senioritis. And a bunch of kids getting lazy, especially me. I'm not gonna lie.
Well,
Same.
I don't want to do anything, but
for me, senioritis is more like getting lazy now that I have like all my applications done, now that
Mhm.
I've submitted applications to all colleges, to all scholarships, to any application that I needed to submit, it's done and it's in. So now I'm like, as far as school, I'm like, I don't want to go.
Yeah.
I don't want to go. I don't want to do my
Literally me.
work. I'm just trying to be done. But I guess that's not the case.
Mhm.
We still gotta be at school.
Yeah, no. I think like being a Hispanic student or first gen student is like you have to like keep working even if you don't want to, because it's like I saw this Instagram reel the other day. It's like me going to class and not skipping because my parents didn't cross the border for me to be slacking, you know? And I think
That's
that's
a
a
good way.
pretty I like that. I think I want to live by that, you know?
Yeah.
What about senior dues? A big senior due is they say like you'll have time to figure everything out, and the reality is like you don't. So like by senior year, you do kind of want to start creating that plan,
Mhm.
because like for me, like I'm stressing with what I'm gonna do, even though I kind of have an idea. I can't imagine someone that like has completely no idea of what they're gonna be doing. Like as a senior, you should kind of create or have an idea of what you're going to be doing, whether it's college or a gap year, traveling, whatever you're going to do. Like, could know for sure the path that you want to take, or else you're going to feel really lost. And at the end of the day, you might make a decision that's not what's best for you because you're making it out of impulse
Mhm.
just to make a decision. Like, we have to remember that these decisions, they're like life the changing decisions now. Like it's not like, oh, what am I gonna have for lunch tomorrow? Like this is small decisions that we've had to make like from the rest of our lives since that we've been in school. Like now it's a decision like, where am I gonna go to school, or what am I gonna do with my life?
Yeah. I would even go as far as saying maybe just start preparing second semester of your junior year. Because once you've gone into senior year, you're much more prepared. You have your college essay. You know where you want to apply, and you're just much more prepared. Because honestly, if I wasn't an avid, I would have gone into senior year. It would have been tough. I don't know what I would have done. It would have been hard.
hmm I think part of being first generation is you have to rely on mentors too.
Yeah.
Like if it wasn't for my older brother who actually was the first to go to college, he made mistakes. Like he messed up his FAFSA, so they didn't give him any money
Damn.
when he was a freshman in college, and like it was expensive. So like I'm glad I didn't make those mistakes, you know. But like you're the first in your family to go to college.
Yeah.
Like, do you feel like you've done any mistakes that you don't want your little siblings doing?
Obviously, yeah, but not that much. I think since I was an avid, I found my ways to navigate high school because that was definitely something that I struggled with in elementary school and middle school. So I missed a bunch of opportunities early on.
Mhm.
So that just helped me later on to learn what I have to do differently, and it just taught me what I have to do, and that's where how I ran into avid and all that, and just that mentored me through the high school process, the college application process. So I was much prepared. There was obviously some things that I missed, like I didn't do any sports, or I didn't do any clubs. I only
Mhm.
joined NHS my junior year, and I didn't start volunteering until my junior year either. So there was definitely something that I think my siblings, if they truly want to go to college, they should do differently once they go into high school.
I feel like if I add on to that, I'm like the way opposite of Joel because I'm a first gen for my family. Like no one's been to college. Like I'm the first too. And I've always like, and I didn't take Avid like all throughout high school. So I feel like my biggest thing with it was being involved with so many things. Cause like obviously like I do student council and I've been like part of student council. I wrestled and then now I'm doing track. And I feel like that's helped me a lot. Like with Joel, like Avid helped him a lot to like help him. And I feel like for me, it was like all my like extracurricular activities that I've done. So I feel like that's what helped me kind of lead through it. And I hope like with my brother, him being in high school already, he kind of like follows those steps.
Mhm.
But if not, then oh well.
For our last question, I wanted to ask like, what's your biggest tip to help with seniors like mental health? Like for me, my biggest tip would be to like, yeah, it's like your senior year and you're getting ready to go to college and you need to be on track and on top of your stuff, but it's also like it's senior year. So you need to go out and enjoy like the time that we have as high school students, because before like it gets real. Like we're not going to be high school students anymore. So my biggest advice would probably be go out, like have fun, go to that concert,
Mhm.
just
Yeah.
be out and enjoy yourself and your friends, but like don't slack either.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I mean, at least a lot.
I feel like I agree with Daisy on that because I feel like a lot of seniors like they're more into like staying at home, focusing on stuff. But I feel like now that we're growing up little by little, it's like we have to enjoy ourselves a lot more because once we get into like adulthood, like how our parents are, it's like
We don't want to look back and be like, oh, my senior year was boring. Like I
Yeah.
didn't do
Yeah,
anything.
I
I
wanna
stayed
do
home.
stuff, you know?
Yeah,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
I stayed home.
Yeah, I think like to protect your mental health during senior year, you have to take what wins you get and appreciate them. Like if I get like an A on a essay in comp, I'll be like, yeah, I'll go buy myself a sandwich at Costco. Or I'll go buy myself a big cookie from Costco, because you know you gotta like treat yourself to things, because like I feel like a lot of times we're just so hard on ourselves. Like it's our senior year, and yeah, we're allowed to make mistakes, but the way you deal with mistakes is you got to be better the next time, and you got to also take in your wins as they come. You know, it's like really easy to just like beat yourself up a lot, especially as a senior.
I agree. Do you have anything?
I would say just know that you're not alone, because there's so much teachers, you have friends, everything. There's people out there that can help you. And if you just constantly feel alone, that's something that can really bother you. It can really mess you up.
I agree. I think we're gonna wrap up our session for today. Thank you for joining us on MFP TV and our new podcast. We're still developing a name for it, but we'll get that going. Make sure to tune in again. Thanks.